My name is Todd Shear, and I and my family participate in the Chosen Families program here at Parenting Matters with Jackie Hester. Our story started many years ago, a couple of years ago actually, where we had gone through the foster system and had the blessing of having the opportunity to adopt our daughter. And as she got older, we adopted her at 2 months, and as she got older, around 3 or 4, we had the privilege of seeing Jackie speak at an educational program that was going on with Bridge of Life, and she caught our attention because she was advising us that it was just very wise to make sure that the children knew they were adopted and not to keep it a secret for their whole life. And then, as our daughter was getting older, we thought to ourselves, well, how do we do this? And my wife and I, we just never felt like there was really an opportunity to do that. That wouldn't sound awkward from our standpoint. And so we reached out to Parenting Matters, and they assigned us Jackie. And it's been a huge blessing for us because in our particular story, she came out to our house and met with us and took the time to meet our family, our dynamics, our backgrounds. And we told her our story about foster care and getting the opportunity to adopt Tegan. And she gave us from week one, she gave us such good advice. And I'll just give you an example of 2 things that I learned from her from week one that was impactful 2 days after she came into our house. And that's why we say she's kind of a godsend. We know that for a fact. So one of the things she told us is when we end up telling our daughter that she's adopted, that we don't use the term your mother gave you up or your father gave you up, that we use the terms the ladies whose belly you were in, because I'm her father and my wife is her mother, and those terms might confuse her until she gets at a more mature age. So I would have probably ate my shoe at that point had she not told me those things. And we discussed a lot of other things in terms of just not giving her too much information, just allowing her, that being my daughter, to just ask questions and answer them to where she could understand it. And it wasn't 2 days after she had been in there, she had made a few comments to my wife about, hey, Mom, remember when I was in your belly? And it was the first opportunity that we ever had to actually talk about the subject of not being in my wife's belly. And that's when my wife had just been educated with Jackie 2 days before. And it was the perfect opportunity to breach the topic of adoption. And that's when my wife told her that. And we were equipped again not to say things like your mother and those terms. So it was just a God sent, God timing that Jackie came to our house so that we weren't confusing or adding more maybe issues for my daughter. She developed and tried to wrap her brain around what adoption was. And as Jackie has educated us on, and what we now know is, and what everybody knows is, like, there's no shame in adoption, in that it's a beautiful story. Tegan has her own story, just like I have my own, and to be a part of her story with this adoption is just a good thing, and there's no shame about it. And we've been open about it. We haven't had to hide it. We don't have to be quiet about it or worry about somebody else talking about it. And it's just been open, and we've seen a lot of good fruit in our family because of that. So we're just really thankful for Jackie and Parenting Matters.